What's up, Sleethers? It's Greg from Greg Goes All In. Here today with Greg's game. Today we're playing 1-3, $1,000 max, 100 minimum. We might play some mixed games. We've got Dogfish Poker. We've got Slow Poker. We've got Sashimi Poker. And we've got Garrett from It's Garrett on TikTok. But he wanted me to tell you that he's a musician first. He doesn't just make a grown tube impression.
Well done. We are at the vlogger friendly meetup game. Let's go see who's here. Introducing you guys to the rest of the table, we've got all three guys from Next Gen Poker. We've got Sharon and Abby, who are both joining us from the Poker Power group, who tries to teach women how to play poker and get them involved in the game. Then we've got Ethan, aka Rampage Poker, who we're about to get involved with a lot. We're all here just to have a fun, friendly game, to meet each other in person. We've kind of conversed online before, but this is the first time I'm meeting pretty much everyone here except Ethan and Sashimi. So I sit down with $500. The 7 Deuce game is on. So if somebody wins with 7 Deuce, everyone pays them $10, I think. And we've also got bomb pots happening basically whenever we get bored.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another Bankroll Challenge video. Today's a special one. I got invited to a very juicy home game.
We're getting settled in. Ethan doesn't even have his chips before he makes it $15 to go. I'm on the button with pocket fives, obviously calling this one.
Calls 15. Okay, heads up. Miss Ashley Sleeth versus Ethan.
And Greg, what's the flop?
Flop comes Jack 4-3 Rainbow. Sure. Actually, checks.
Ethan snap checks it over to me. I was surprised to see that. And with a pair over a 4, I think this is a great hand to bet and try to get protection against all those overcards. So I put out $20. He snap folds. Who do I tip? Greg? Or Garrett? It did feel good to win the first one, but there's a lot more blood to be spilled. So the next one, Ethan opens up under the gun 1 to $10. I have King, Queen of Spades in the hijack. I want to 3-bet this one and isolate just to get this pot heads up. So I make it $30. And then Slow Poker comes out of nowhere in the small blind. I don't think he's played any hands yet and makes it $120 to go. Just a cold 4-bet. Ethan's out of there. Back on me. I think we're over 500 deep at this point. And I know I'm probably crushed, but I did not come to a very friendly 1-3 game to be folding beautiful suited connectors in position. So I call the cold 4 and we get a beautiful flop. It comes queen high. He c-bets for $90. I call, and the turn and the river bring a flush that was there on the flop, and we check it all the way down. He says, I think you must be good. I flip over my king queen, and he claims to have had ace king offsuit. So got really lucky there and take another one down. This is still before everyone has gotten there. We're only playing 6-handed, so Greg jumped in as a 7th seat with his neck cam that he's live streaming onto his YouTube. I love how you have to sit together. You're like sitting. In this pot, I open the small blind to 15. He snap makes it 45 from the big blind. This is his first hand. I'm obviously gonna call with ace jack. The flop comes queen high, I believe. I check it over to him. He bets $30. I'm gonna call this one. Got an over, and I think that he could be c-betting a lot of junk that I'm still beating. The turn is an ace. And at this point, Greg lives up to the name and says,
All in.
I ask, really? And then say, I mean, whatever. And call it off. Because, yeah, he could have ace queen or ace king, but I don't think he would necessarily snap jam those, snap overbet jam those on the turn. And if he had even better like queens or aces, some monster like that, he definitely wouldn't overbet jam. I think he would go smaller. So through eliminating those hands, I think ace jack is doing really well. We see we're up against a gutter. So he was just bluffing us. And we do hold on the river. Sorry, Greg. We are taking this one down as well. Greg never invited me back. He's like, get out of here. Going back in time a little bit, this one was before everybody sat down. So 7-way bomb pot, $10 each person, 70 bucks in the pot. I have king, jack, 4, deuce. And the flop up top is ace, 5, 4, and the bottom is 8, 4, 4. So I have the last 4 in the deck, and I have a gutter up top. Ethan leads out into the field for 30 bucks. I call, Donkfish Poker calls. The turn on top is a 3. So I make a wheel on top. The bottom board brings a pink card. I think it was a jack. And Ethan checks to me this time. I bet 110. Both guys fold, and I show them the goods. So just running hot to start off this session. Then Ethan, aka Rampage, opens up to $11 in the cutoff. I've got king jack offsuit in the small and 3-bet him to 45. He looks slightly annoyed and makes the fold. Then Donkfish limps under the gun. Ethan makes it $15 in the cutoff. Again, I look down at a 3-betting hand, king jack suited in the small. I make it $50 this time. Ethan locks eyes with me, clearly not happy.
Damn. See, that's why women shouldn't play poker. I said it before.
Careful, you're on the vlog. Unsubscribe.
And Sharon, out of nowhere, comes in with the tank cold 4-bet to $140. The other guys fold. I know my hand is dust at this point, so I put it in the muck, but we're starting to develop a pretty strong dynamic with Mr. Rampage over there, which leads up to a really fun pot later in the video. I get a little bit out of line in this one. I open up to $10 in the low jack with jack 10 of hearts. It's a beautiful hand. Rosie in the cutoff makes it $40 to go. He looks like he has a pretty short stack for a 1-3 game. He has around 170, 180 bucks in his stack. So I didn't really want to call off like a quarter of my stack. I just felt like getting a little out of line, trying to give back. He hadn't really played many hands, but I don't know, they just got here. So I jam it all in for $180, trying to fold out his bluffs, maybe get him to make pretty tight folds, honestly, but he doesn't. He has pocket queens, snaps me off. We don't suck out on him, thank God, because I don't know if I could have handled. I might have gotten kicked out of the game if I won yet another pot.
One more.
One more. Let's do it. I couldn't quite get there in 5 cards, so Greg dealt me an ocean card, and thanks for rubbing it in, buddy. I got there twice. All right, continuing that streak of trying to give it back a little bit. I'm in a bomb pot with Greg. I have bottom 2 on the top, and I've got nothing really much going on. So I'm basically letting him have a free roll to scoop me because I can only really win in 1 pot. Sashimi disapproved. You can hear her telling me how bad I played.
Do you have a set?
We're gonna sweat over here.
Do you have a set?
I do not.
Okay, good. I don't know what I'm looking at. I have a flush. I have king high flush draw and 2 pair.
Oh, I was good. What?
You fit bad.
Huh? I know.
Hey, I know. No good.
Yeah, we don't get there. He's got the whole board covered. He's got 2 pair on the bottom that beats my 2 pair. Bomb pots are really eating to the win this time, combined with terrible play on my part. So I toned it down after that, trying to play better so that I don't just like give away all the money that I showed up here with. I opened king 10 of hearts this time in the cutoff. Sharon, who's to my direct left, has been playing extremely well. She makes the call.
Oh, you snuck in there? All right, let's go.
The flop is 9 3 deuce with 1 heart, so I've got a bunch of backdoors, 2 overs. So I c-bet and she makes the call. Not looking great. The turn is one of those backdoors. It's the jack. So I continue on this turn, putting on the aggression. She makes the fold. Now on to the big pot of the night. I've got East Queen now, EP versus EP, once again against Ethan. I make it 30 over his $10, and he says, which is pretty accurate. This is about the 5th time I've 3-bet him or have shown some sort of aggression against him in particular. I've just had hands to do it with, and it happens to be against him. Nothing personal, but I think he's probably taking it that way so far. Anyway, he does not 4-bet, he just calls, which is going to play into the rest of this hand. The flop comes out 10-5-5 rainbow. He checks it to me. I c-bet 20 bucks, just a normal amount on this type of board texture, and he snap raises. He makes it $75, and already I'm just like, man, I don't know about this. If you really had a big hand, you would have 4-bet me pre, just because of the dynamic that's been going on so far in this game. He would think in his head, oh, this looks really bluffy. It looks like I'm getting upset that she's 3-bet me so many times. So if he had anything better than basically my hand, I think he would have 4-bet for sure before the flop. So now that he check raises this flop, he's not doing that with a 10 because I have all the overpairs. So if he had a 10, I think he just calls. If he somehow has a 5, good for him, but it's going to be really hard for him to have that. So I make the call on this flop, really just planning on calling him down. The turn is another 10, so it's great for me because it's even less likely now that he has a 10. I don't think that he ever really has a 10 anyway, but now this kind of confirms it for me. He continues though, he does not slow down. I mean, he's pretty famous for this type of aggression. So he puts out $100 on this turn. With ace high, I think I'm good. Just gonna keep calling. The river is an offsuit deuce, so complete brick. He continues putting his foot on the gas. He bets all my money, $341 total to be exact. And I don't really think too long before just calling him off because I just think he is full of it. And what do you know? I call him off and he has 6-4 suited. Felt good to end the night catching one of those infamous round punts.
RIP the bankroll challenge. This is going back to 0.
Thanks.
I had such a great time playing in this game. I would have stayed, but more creators started to show up and were waiting for a seat to fill. So those of us who showed up early racked up and headed out. Oh man, that was really fun. We bought into the game for $500, cashed out for $1,020. So we made a little bit of money there, but mostly we just had fun. Fun with our friends, got to meet a lot of the content creators that I respect and some that I haven't heard of before. So get to check out some new channels. Now I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna pick up my grandma and I'm gonna pick up Jesse and we're gonna go to a meetup game at MGM. So it's been a packed day and I'm excited to get to it. See ya. Thinking is hilarious.
Rick, I played like the 600.
You know, I really. You told me. Oh, I have a. Oh, fuck, I have a. I have to know.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Oh, you're good. Yeah.
Why would you call it?